It's not the weather or the sweat or the hard work. 2020 ended up being a really good year for our homestead, and the craziness of the pandemic actually helped us get crystal clear on our objectives for our homestead, probably more clear than we've ever been. Plus, the lack of travel and everything being canceled gave us a chance to work on some of the projects that we've been putting off for quite a while. We finally made over our milking parlor. Actually, we kind of didn't have a milking parlor to begin with, so we finally built a functional place to milk our cows that would be clean and tidy. We installed a hail net on our garden that we've been trying to figure out how to create for years, and of course we had 0 hailstorms the entire summer, but still, I guess you could say it worked. And my favorite, we finally built a greenhouse that I think should withstand the hurricane force winds we have here in Wyoming. But regardless, no matter how many crazy things we've completed, I still always get this feeling of apprehension and overwhelm before we start a new project. It's gotta be the thing I hate the most about homestead projects. And this is actually really normal, but not a lot of people talk about it. So in today's video, I'm gonna share how we work through this feeling of project overwhelm on the homestead. And I'll also share with you some of our pretty crazy homestead goals for 2021. So Christian and I like to have these brainstorming sessions when we have a lot of projects in the works. So I'm going to bring you along for one of our sessions, and hopefully we get some stuff figured out. So I think our biggest priority project is the root cellar. Root cellar, which I think I mentioned on a previous video. But this is also the product I'm most excited about for obvious reasons.
Here?
Yeah.
Going here. It's not big enough to go here because of the tree roots.
But I thought we already decided on that.
Yeah, we decided that it wasn't going to fit here because of the tree roots. These trees are probably 50 years old, and it's really hard to grow a tree in Wyoming. We have to dig a hole that is 3 feet bigger on each side of the foundation, so that the concrete workers have room to get in there and put together their forms. It's gonna have to come this way. So what I think we do is make this into a little garden, a little extension to the garden. Root cellar right here, because it's gonna be bigger. Now we're not worried about the trees, we're not worried about the tree roots.
We need to borrow the backhoe from the neighbor.
Or buy one.
Borrow. And then we need to start leveling that out. Okay.
Dig a hole.
Dig a hole, and let's go talk about the other stuff, and then maybe we can figure out which is going to come first. Why are you running?
Hoop house, triangle thing, something.
For the rows in here?
For the rows in here that we can raise during the daytime and lower at nighttime. Already got a support system. It'd be really easy to put some cables or pulleys. We could even motorize it. We could even put a little PLC system on it and make it automated. So we can capitalize on the warmth from the day, lower these things down at nighttime. Big idea number 2. Let's do some geothermal heating in here. So our biggest problem in the wintertime is when there's no sun. Then it gets the same temperature in here as it is outside.
So for those of you who don't know what geothermal is, because I didn't before he started talking about it, this is layman's terms. It's basically we'd have to dig a really big hole, either under the greenhouse or off to the side, outside, lay a series of pipes, and then the pipes will blow air from deep in the earth into the greenhouse that will be warmer than the air outside in the winter and cooler than the air outside in the summer. And it's all using just the earth's temperature. You don't have to use any other sort of heating technique. Because we don't want to do fossil fuels. We've decided, like, from the beginning.
No fossil fuels.
No fossil fuels to grow food in here.
So here's the thing. It's not like it's going to be 70-degree air coming out of the ground. It might only be 40-degree air coming out of the ground. But if it's 10 degrees outside and you're pumping 40-degree air out to heat the little hoop houses, we'll be able to grow stuff, or at least keep it from dying.
Because our whole objective with 2021 is to grow more food. And we just were really reminded last year with all the pandemic weirdness and the grocery store supply stuff that we need to be really committed to increasing our food production here on our homestead. And this is one of the ways we can do that. But winter growing in Wyoming just isn't going to happen very easily unless we put some of these measures into place, because this is a severe, severe climate. But, you know, this setup right now is our throw together little greens that we planted right after we built this last August. But ideally, this will be full of winter vegetables next year. But one of the things that scares me most about the geothermal thing is it's a huge hole.
Digging a hole the size that you would make a basement in a house.
I just think this is going to be the most time-consuming project of the year.
It's a lot of dirt work.
So this one scares me probably more than the other projects, just because I don't know how this is going to work.
But if we make this work, we'll be able to grow food in just about any weather. Any temperature outside, we'll be able to capitalize on the heat from the ground and grow anything we want in here. Well, maybe not anything we want, but keep it from dying.
So you want to put pavers in this corner and start seeds.
Pavers are going to soak up the heat. That'll heat the pavers up, and then at nighttime you put your little tiny hoop house over your seeds, and that'll keep everything warm during the night.
You have to understand that part of this is about growing food, and part of this is just because Christian likes really crazy projects.
Or a 2-foot piece of pipe coming up out of the ground, put an elbow on that, you run it down this way, 2-foot piece of pipe.
So basically there's a lot of stuff that will be happening in the greenhouse this year. So our last project is actually converting an existing building. You've seen it before, it's this red shed. So I don't think we've really utilized this building to the best of its ability. We built it quite a number of years ago, and it's just kind of become a catch-all. Sometimes we park vehicles in here, and right now it has all of our cattle, mineral, and salt. So tell me what you think.
Close this guy off here, put a sliding door so we can still get big equipment in and out. We'll put a sliding door over there so we can get horses or cattle in and out of. Put a small door here for chicken access so that this can be like a supplemental chicken roosting area, especially in the wintertime. The little chicken coop kind of gets overcrowded, and it'd be nice to have just a spillover, especially when we got a lot of meat birds.
This is something we do quite a bit. We kind of just build in layers. So this building was built like maybe 8 years ago, and now it's just time to increase its effectiveness and to make it even better. And we've done that with our barns and our gardens and really everything here. So I just want you to know, as you're watching this video, don't feel overwhelmed by our goals, because we've been at this a while and we've built on a foundation over many, many years. Our garden started small, our chicken coop started small, this building started off as just a 3-sided shed, and it's just adding on a little bit every year and getting a little bit better. Every time we complete a brainstorming session like this, I feel super pumped up and also completely overwhelmed, because there's so many things to do and so many things that need to happen. So let me show you what I like to do next. So I have this little brain dump exercise I do all the time for big projects. Here's how it works. Grab a big old piece of paper and brain dump every project that is swirling around in your head and making you feel overwhelmed. Just get it on the paper in no particular order. Now circle the top 3 projects that are the highest priority and label them 1, 2, and 3, depending on which one is the most important. Grab a fresh sheet of paper, divide it into 3 columns, and write the priority projects at the top. Now comes the most important part. Get as granular as you can about what needs to happen to move each of these projects forward. Break them down into baby steps and create a plan for yourself. And then you can number these according to which step needs to happen first, and I like to highlight the initial steps just to help myself stay focused, and I can transfer these over into my planner. So I have my brain dump list all ready to go. I'm already feeling more clarity. You know, I don't think there's anything that's ever really going to take away the feeling of apprehension that comes when we're doing new things, but that's okay. That's what comes with creation and building and doing stuff out of our comfort zone. So I'm okay with that feeling if it means that I'm pushing myself to continually